Hey everybody, and welcome to another lesson from Majingo. In this lesson, we are going to learn how we can hash redirect parameters in Craft 2 and in Craft 3. So let's jump in and see how that works. So back in version 2.6.2945 of Craft 2, Pixel and Tonic introduced the ability to require hashing of the redirect parameters that are set in forms, like for a sign-up form or a sign-in form. They introduced this enhancement to make Craft 2 more secure. There is a potential denial of service security issue with in the clear form data. And in the example of a redirect parameter, this could allow someone to redirect the user to something other than what is specified in the hidden form element. So let's start with how we can protect our redirect parameters in Craft 2, and then after that we'll move on and see how it works in Craft 3. So here's our login form for Craft 2, and we'll use this as a test to see how hashing the redirect parameter works. So right now, if I view source of this form, you can see we just have a normal redirect here with the hidden input type, and the value is just where we want Craft to redirect. So essentially, this is all being done in the clear without any checks at all. Now, what we need to do to make this work is first we need to hash our parameter, and then we need to enable the hashing check. So to hash our parameter, we go into our form code here. So our just standard form with our action input and then our redirect input here. And we want to convert this to a twig output tag. And we can do that. We can just make this a string that is just outputted automatically. And we do that so that we can pass that to a filter. And this is where we would pass it, is right here. So in this case, we want to use the hash filter. And this is a filter that will actually it'll prepend a hash to this /profile redirect destination. So let's do that and then see how that works in the browser. So if I reload and view again, you can see that the value has now changed to being this hash prepended to /profile. So Craft can use that on the back end to validate that this is legitimate and actually set in the template. The next thing we need to do, because if we try to log in here, it will actually tell us that it's not a valid location, because Craft will try to actually redirect us quite literally to the hash and /profile, because it doesn't know to intervene and check. So let's tell it to check. So the first thing I want to do is log out of here. So we'll log out. And in our code, we're going to go to general.php, which is our general configuration file. And I have added a extra config option here. And I've just added it here to the main array called validate unsafe request params. And it takes a Boolean, so I have it set to true. And this means we want Craft to validate any unsafe request parameters. In our case, it's going to be the redirect parameter. All right, so with that turned on, we should be able to now log in, have Craft review that parameter value, and then redirect us properly. So if I go here and log in, we are now successfully logged in and redirected to /profile. All right, so that looks good. So what happens if we have this enabled right here, validate unsafe request params, but we don't hash our value here? We just take that out, right? What happens if we do that? What does Craft 2 tell us? All right, so we're not hashing it. So let's go ahead and log in again. So we get a bad request. Post param redirect was invalid. All right, so let's see, are we logged in? All right, so obviously we can hit this page because I'm not protecting it. If I go to my profile and I say, if current user, and we'll just do something like that. We'll wrap the whole thing in a conditional just to check. All right, so we are actually logged in. It's just that Craft refuses to redirect us. So let me log out. And now go back to my template. Going to redo this. So we're using the twig output tag and passing the string / profile to the hash filter. Reload my template. And now try to log in. And there we go. We are logged in and successfully redirected to / profile. Now, to get this same behavior in Craft 3, it's actually much simpler because in Craft 3, hashing redirect parameters is required. There's no config option to turn it on or to turn it off. It's required by default in Craft 3. So we need to make sure that all of our values for redirect parameters are hashed. So let's look at how that's done. So here's my form code for Craft 3. Again, same thing here. I am not hashing here, and I'm redirecting to a profile. And in this case, I have like a little conditional that says you must log in if you're not logged in. So I don't need to do anything in my config file, but here's my form. And if I try to log in now, I get returned back to the form, which is the default if you don't set a redirect parameter. But was I logged in? Well, if I go to / profile, you can see I was logged in. I just wasn't redirected because it was not safe for Craft to honor that redirect parameter because it was not hashed. All right, let's log out and go to our template code. And let's hash this. Like that. I'll reload this form. Just confirm here that we are hashing it right here. And now I'm going to log in. And I should be logged in and redirected as well, which I am. And that means that our redirect is working because we have now hashed that redirect value. The takeaway here is that whether you are running Craft 2 or Craft 3, you should get in the habit of hashing the redirect parameter values. Now, the reason that's a good idea to do on Craft 2 as well is, well, first of all, because it's safer, and second, because if you decide to upgrade your sites from Craft 2 to Craft 3, if you take those steps now, all those forms and those redirects will be working once they get moved to Craft 3 because they have to be hashed in Craft 3 anyway. So I would encourage you to go ahead and enable that config setting and then go through your templates and hash anywhere that you're using a redirect parameter. All right, thanks for watching this lesson. I'm Ryan Ireland. Please check out Majingo.com/craft to see all of the material that I have on how you can learn more about using Craft CMS.